Hello and welcome back everybody to another special energy update here from myself, David, and
Bella
from QPW. So we're at a very interesting point in the collective proceedings. We're also coming to the end of this Tzolkin of 260 days. We're currently in the penultimate wavespell of the Blue Magnetic Eagle, shortly to be followed by the Yellow Magnetic Star, which rounds out the 260-day Tzolkin with another 13-day wavespell, which sets us up for the incoming new Tzolkin, which of course starts with the Dragon. So we'd like to share with you just a few pointers of the wavespell that we're in with the Eagle, and also to share a bit more with you about the Stargate opens where time becomes art, and then beyond that. Because we're, as a tribe, already engaged in a year-long process called the 13 Moons, and now we're weaving the 260-day Tzolkin, the 1320 calendar, as a cross weave. This is quite nuanced and more precise energy work that's really working with time as art.
Right. And this invitation is for all of our tribe and anybody new that wants to join us. We started the process of this Tzolkin almost 260 days ago with people from the tribe all around the globe activating the very first day with the magnetic dragon. All around the planet, we set the intention of at the same time to start all together the energy so we could manifest as a tribe, and we've manifested so many amazing things.
Right, so as Bella said, we started that Tzolkin with what we called a dragon wave, and our brothers and sisters all meditated in New Zealand at midday, and then every person across the planet all the way around to Hawaii all did the same thing over basically a 24-hour period. It was quite powerful, and it kick-started our whole Tzolkin process, which we're now coming to an end of in this cycle anyway. And accordingly, we're also back in a journey space. We've called it the Eagle Ascends. Many of you watching this are probably in that. Yeah. But we are also doing a back-to-back sequence here with the Stargate, or the Yellow Magnetic Star. And there's a reason for this, which we're going to explain and invite you into this process in more detail. Now, many of you watching these videos that we've been putting out have either jumped fully into the 1320 dream spell calendar as we have, which we live by every day. Many of you perhaps watch it and tune in when you can, and maybe some of you are like, oh, I love what you guys do with the plants and astrology, but I can't quite get to the Mayan dream spell. Well, we want to start offering some new ways to enter into these various time cycles so that you can experience what it's like to live in every moment where time is art all the time. Look at this beautiful space that we're in. You know, as much as possible, myself and Bella try to bring our heart's intuitions into our 3D physicality, and we have a lot of fun doing that. And you know, that's really what these immersions are about, that we share with all of you in different ways. But that's actually how we live our life, from day to day, wavespell to wavespell, castle to castle, Tzolkin to Tzolkin, and so on and so forth. And what we have discovered by immersing ourselves into this particular way of living, these cycles of what we call time, is that first of all it allows us to move beyond the very matrix-driven 12 system, the 1260, which defines time, even the 12 signs of the zodiac, but also the whole Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, get a weekend off and zone out for a while. Well, when you live every day as if it's a new adventure, you don't want to or even need to zone out really for a couple of days just to get over the last 5 days, which is kind of what we've all been programmed to do in the West. And we've been discovering it through the implementation, and being in this kind of energy cycle has completely transformed our lives, and also us at the individual level.
Right. So we'll start by talking about what we're currently doing. We're in the middle of the immersion for the Eagle, which has been asking us about what is our vision, what is your individual vision, and what is your vision for the collective, for the planet. And we've been all working with that, trying to get a very clear vision for the future, for New Earth, but more than anything, working with our ego mind, which is the one that keeps us trapped into the matrix. So it's a constant job, working day by day, asking lots of questions, doing lots of reflections, but the revelations start to happen now towards the end of this Tzolkin, where we can review everything that we have accomplished and then get our vision anchored with this last wave spell that we're going to do.
Right, so in a tongue-twisting fashion, we've been kind of separating out eagle mind and ego mind. It's another way of saying lower mind and higher mind, divine mind, original mind. And this is an important part of the eagle's energy. The three key words that define the Blue Eagle glyph are mind, vision, and create. But if your mind is somewhat serving up faulty ideas, faulty visions that are based more on matrix, slavery permutations rather than free intuitive inspirations, then chances are that maybe your visions are not quite as full and complete, or perhaps not even being guided by your divine self as you would like. So the eagle really asks us to assess through the observer and the observed, quantum, watching yourself, watching the ego mind serve up lots of blockages and distractions and things that really don't serve your highest purpose. So our intention for ourselves and for the journey that we've been doing with our brothers and sisters within the QPW tribe was to kind of create our own mini immersion where we got to practice doing the observer and the observed meditation, working with plants that may have come to us, and really just to see in meditation, to sit maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes if you can, and just see what the mind throws up at you to distract you from receiving your divine intuitions. And we're making a difference here between intuitions and thoughts. Thoughts come more from the mind as it contemplates things that have arisen for it throughout the day. The intuitive mind just drops things in when it's most appropriate, and the trick is to catch them and then bring them into the physicality, bringing as above to so below, as within where it's stored to so without. This is the process of bringing heaven to earth, 5D to 3D, and manifesting. But it's only possible if you have a clear vision, which is only possible if your mind is free of the contortions of the monkeyness and the matrix.
So this invitation is for all of you who have been following our videos and want to immerse yourself into the energy of this beautiful wave spell of the yellow magnetic star, which is telling us let's connect to more creativity, bring the vision and anchor it and beautify. It's all about beauty, harmony, balance. We're going to anchor that vision. If you already have an idea or a vision that has been coming to you for the last period of time, it could be the last 260 days, we're going to anchor it during this wave spell so that we then take it to the next process.
Right, so hopefully if you're watching this video, maybe you joined us on the Eagle Ascends journey, or maybe you just listened to the Quantum Compass and said, hey, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it by myself. Many people often do that when we do journeys, and we can share that space, whether you're directly in the immersion or not. But what we want to share with you is, did you set that intention at the beginning of this Eagle Wavespell to go to the fifth dimension, to the Eagle's perch, which is beyond the mind, beyond samsara? And if you did, what was your intention? Did you receive it? We're recording this on the day of integration of the wind, which is all about the breath of spirit and communication. We received our communication from our eagle's perch. We're now communicating with all of you out there. And so this is just a very small way about how we work day to day with the energies and the tones, because when you do that, you become super efficient, but you also get the mind out of the way. And so we've had to wait 7 days to receive the clarity of the vision for ourselves moving forwards, but also some part of it we're sharing with all of you. And so that is the Eagle journey. But if you didn't set those intentions, do not worry, because there is still time. You know, day 9 is the solar tone in any wavespell, and that's still incoming. But you can set that intention, call in simply, I wish to receive my new earth vision for myself. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. But if you've got your mind with all of these, I'm expecting this and it's dependent on that, and if I want to do this, I've got to do that first, and blah, 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 blah. It's all monkey mind stuff. If you're really receiving that divine intuition, it will flow out of that place. The blockages will dissolve because they're not meant to stop you from doing this.
So one of the things that we've been doing by following all of these Tzolkins and wave spells is to reconnect with the natural cycles of life, but also to live as if time is art, and it's a daily intention. But this wave spell is the best one to get us into that frequency, because it will reconnect us with our divine essence and what is it that our heart and our soul actually want to create and manifest, and what is the future that your soul or your higher self is telling you, hey, it's in this direction, you could be super creative, and this is the way that you can accomplish that.
So Whether you did receive your Eagle Vision or not, you can still jump into this at any time, and that's why we're sharing this video now. If you've done stuff with us before, great, you've got all of that material to work with, you've probably got your coordinates set. But if you're new and just like, oh, I really want to jump in, but I don't know how to work with all of this, it doesn't really matter. What we're doing here is using the 13 steps of manifestation, which is what we call the navigation guide to quantum consciousness, but is really the 13 in the 1320, to bring a dream to a manifestation place. And we've got this beautiful energy of the star to round this out. So we're just going to give you a very brief overview of how we're going to guide this immersion, and if you want to jump in and experience this in a very co-creative community space, there's a big emphasis for this on community because of the way we started this Tzolkin, the way we want to end it, but also the unfolding into the next Tzolkin. As you end one chapter, a new chapter begins, and the Tzolkin gives you these very nice segmented chapters to your life that are quite marked, especially if you set intentions and conclude them properly, opening the space and closing the space and then opening the next space. So
something else about this wave spell of the yellow magnetic star is the reconnection to beauty, to the great goddess, and to Venus. So if you've been following or tracking Venus, or you have a strong connection with Venus, this is part of the energy that we're going to anchor within ourselves and then unpack during the next Tzolkin.
So what will this 13-day journey called the Stargate Opens, where time becomes art, actually contain? Well, if we have received our original vision or vision from our original mind, our divine mind, then it's somewhat held in the non-physical etheric state. We can say that it's still with the eagle, waiting for the eagle to descend and bring it down our own mystical column, our own central channel, our own even ascension ladder. And the reason for this is that we need to bring the imperative from the non-physical realms, the etheric realms, down into physicality. So we do the as above to the so below. We bring it into our container, which is where it's held safely for dissemination later. But that's when we get to do the as within, so without. Whatever we're holding as our vision inside of ourselves for the future, we want to manifest that into the 3D. This is really the process. So the journey will be a descent through our chakras, diving down from the soul star into our physical bodies, through the crown, all the way down through all of these rainbow centers. They're really portals. They are the rainbow portals of both our physical energetic field, our toroidal field, and then our connection points, the soul star, beyond the realms of samsara, and the earth star, deep into Mother Earth and the inner earth. So that is the process. Over 13 days, we will every couple of days start working down through the chakras, different meditations, different energetic imprints. Sorry, we have a boat in the background. We'll just let it pass. People are having fun. And as we do that, what we're doing is bringing the energy of our vision down through each of these rainbow portals that we call chakras, which also allow new imperatives, new nuanced details to come into the vision. And we're going to bring it down to the birthing point, which is really the root chakra. And we might work with plants in different ways, or we're also going to open up for different ideas for plants that could help you. But a big component for this is the vision board. The vision board that's inside of us, and the vision board that's going to help map out, in a kind of an altar map, our plans for the next Tzolkin.
That's right.
So really what we're doing is bringing the vision down into our own vision board, which is our own internal quantum technology, which we call the inner medicine wheel, which is the basis of our own mystical column. Only now we're doing it in the other way around. We're bringing heaven down to earth, 5D, down to 3D, holding it in our research and development center. That's the internal technology, working with the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, infusing heart energy, solar energy, and quite a few other energies as we go down, so that when we come to the end of this wave spell, we have our vision already manifest as a plan, maybe on the vision board, maybe through an altar. We're also going to be doing that. We're going to be creating altars and adding bits of our visions as we go out. And we're going to be doing it in nature. We're going to go out as we are now and finding plants and rocks and different things that speak to us of our vision as we see it. We've received ours and we know now what we're going to be doing for the next Tzolkin. And as a cross weave of anyone doing the 13 moons, it fits perfectly. That is what we're going to be sharing. There's going to be a lot of hints and tips on how to draw the best out of your artistic self and how to start putting that together in some sort of coherent way that you will be able to then work with as your own map for the next Tzolkin.
And one of the amazing things that has happened during this Tzolkin is that we intention to bring down the artificial matrix by switching to 13, by switching to a different different way of experiencing time. So we switch to the 1320 frequency, which is following the wave spells. We also switch to the 13 moons, which we're just in the middle of that process. And we also switch to the 13 sign constellational astrology. So by us resetting our life to the 13, we've opened lots of new opportunities for us. And as a tribe, we were able to also activate the new grid by us activating it together from day one. We're going to wrap up this process and start a whole new cycle of ideas and innovations for us and for the whole tribe.
So true. So as Bella's just shared, really a lot of this is coming out of our own switch from the 12 system to the 13, the mystical 13. And there is something that can only be experienced individually when you make that shift from living in a 12 time code to a 13 time code, which is why, as Bella's just said, we explored the 13 signs, we've been exploring the 13 tones, the 13 moons, the 13 trees, in fact anything with 13 it seems. But there was a reason, because once you accept the invitation into the mystical 13 with the goddess and the quantum field, then it can start to manifest in your life. And we've been doing this by changing the time code system that we live by, and by introducing the 13th mystical sign of Ophiuchus into our astrology through the true sidereal constellational astrology. And in doing so, we also shifted our own solar signs, which quite a few of our tribe have also done. But everyone who's done it is like, oh, I've got a new personality. But actually, I was always like this. So we've got this extra 13th imperative, which is really another way of saying operating outside of the samsaric realms, or what we call the earthly realms. This is going beyond that and bringing something from the divine consciously into this realm.
Let's remember that in the words of Arguelles, who controls your time controls your mind. But here, the invitation is for all of us to have control of our time and jump into a different way of experiencing it, which is beneficial for all of us. And you get to accomplish so many things in this cycle of 260 days. We set out to connect with the tribe, to meet in person. Many people from the tribe came to meet us. We reset the grid. Pretty much, you can see now the disclosure coming out with the e-files and everything that is coming out, which is going to affect the financial system, the political system, the banking system, the health system, everything. So the artificial matrix is coming down, and we're now starting the creative phase, and we want to do it as a tribe as well.
Right, so we're going to save some of that story for another video, which we'll probably be putting out in a few days ahead of the new Tzolkin, because as Bella's just outlined and just touched very briefly, as a tribe we've been up to some incredible activities, but they're all the ones that we set the intentions for at this time last year, before this Tzolkin that we're currently in started. And when you work at the quantum level with intention, particularly now in this kind of more expansive upward spiral of energy, it's going to manifest a lot quicker, which is why we've been sharing so much about watching your thoughts, your words, your deeds, and watching where your mind goes and how your mind influences all of these three things if you're not observant of it. All of which is another way of creating more space for more light, for more rainbow spectrum within our field.
Let's remember that it's a unique opportunity. We're never going to have 3i Atlas this close to Earth ever again in our lives. So this is the opportunity to use interstellar codes that are coming from beyond our galaxy, and they are coming to help us reset the new Earth that we've all been intentioning to create. This is the moment to receive those codes, anchor it, which is part of the process of what we're going to do in this wave spell. How do we actually anchor these codes and get them ready for the process to start now? When Atlas gets the closest to Earth on the 19th of December, we'll be starting a whole new Tzolkin already, being ready for that, ready to receive.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in many ways, the 3i Atlas, but probably also some of the other comets, the interstellar ones, certainly, they are the representation of the 13th entering into our awareness. Why? Well, these are interstellar. They're from beyond our solar system, which is a self-contained system. That's too long to go into on this video, but really we call to the 13, and shortly afterwards, 3i Atlas enters into our solar system from another place beyond that. And accordingly, many, many things have come to light. But what we've understood is that this was an invitation from Creator, from the Galactic Center, from our higher selves, to put our attention and intention towards something that was not bound by the matrix system, i.e. outside of the samsaric realms of 4D and 5D and of karma. This is something from beyond that. And if you watch the video that we did with Zach, where we asked him, is some part of us on Atlas? Of course it is. Some part of us is in everything. That's the beauty of
the higher aspects.
The higher aspects, right? Yeah, I'm not talking about your little pinky or something that you left someone. No, this is a part of our higher multi-dimensional consciousness. It's probably more 6, 7, 8 and beyond that we can, if we're lucky, communicate with. But most of all, we just send intentions and wait to see what comes back. So these are some of the broader parameters that we will be talking about during this journey. But most of all, this is a chance to be in a container with lots of heartfelt energy, lots of guidance and direction to really help you take whatever it is, your vision that's inside, and start to put it into the reality that we call 3D as your new Earth vision. And if we all do this, many of us all over the planet, whether you join us or not, if we all do this at this time, what we're doing is creating these hubs of plasma energy, higher plasma energy that we call nodal points, and then they'll grow. And they'll start to connect with each other. That's when we all start to connect with each other in the 3D. That is our long-term view and mission of what we've been working on. And now we feel for the first time since the convergence that the pathway is clear. The blockages, the lower frequency density, the mafia bosses, they've all been dealt with. We truly, yeah, they've either been dealt with or the last of them are being dealt with. But we feel truly in our body medicines that a big shift has occurred. Quite a few big shifts have occurred over the last couple of weeks. And we now sense that this is the time, full steam ahead. We have to take the opportunity with both hands ourselves and move forwards.
Yeah. So this is a short video, just more of an invitation. And if you're ready to experience time as art, this is the Wavespell to jump in.
Right, and as a last piece, there will be something new coming from us throughout the course of the next Tzolkin of 260 days. That will be our next energy update video, where we're going to show you a way to jump into this. Whether you've worked with this time codes before or not, there's something very exciting for everybody here. So do watch this space for more. And of course, Quantum Compass will be out very soon too. So hopefully you'll join us. More details in the show notes about how to jump on. Also about the special workshop that we've just developed, the Alchemy of the Sacred 13, which you can use every 13 days to help shape your own immersions every 13 days. So hope that's all been of use to you. Hope you've enjoyed this beautiful backdrop as we disappear into the light. We will see you all again very soon.
In Lakesh.
In Lakesh.
Another year.